Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox, and before we get started with the video today, I have something to show you. So Rose Forever New York, which is the company that has sent me the flowers. You guys know the flowers that last, they say a year. I've had my flowers for way longer than that, and they are still going strong, but they're in that box, and you can put them up, and they're decorative. Well, they now have a home scents section to their store, and Rose Forever kindly reached out to me and asked if I would be interested in reviewing the candle for you guys. And I told them absolutely. I am a sucker for a candle, you guys. So they sent me this beautiful candle here. I have that container of Bath and Body Works in the background so you can kind of get an idea of the size. I needed it for scale because the camera has a hard time showing exactly how large this candle was. I was actually expecting it to be around the size of a Bath and Body Works candle. However, this candle easily is twice the size of a Bath and Body Works candle. The circumference is wider. It is a much taller, bigger candle. Massive is the best description for it. And I was happy to hear that, happy to see that, because it is indeed a beautiful candle. If it's not anything else, it is very beautiful, you guys. But also, on top of it being pretty, it is a candle with the scent that you can smell. Okay, so the scent that I picked out is Orange Blossom. They have, I believe, 6 to 8 different scents. There may even be more, but I picked out Orange Blossom because I am partial to that. Let me read the description on the website, Rose Forever New York. Okay, they said that it's inspired by Hermes Orange Vert scent, and it says each candle is hand poured with eco-friendly soy wax and is free from toxic chemicals, housed in transparent hand-blown glass with black and white details. They offer 150 hours of burn time. That is amazing, and I can definitely say that's probably true. It is a big candle. Even though they say that it's black and white, that is really not black, okay? Really, it is more like a chocolate brown and white specks within the hand-blown detailing of the glass. But yes, you guys, absolutely a beautiful candle. I'm showing you guys here that this is actually one of the flowers that I was telling you that Rose Forever sent me. This was the white roses with, I believe, 18 roses in there. It's an acrylic box, and it has a drawer underneath where I keep my remote controls. I also have another one that I actually use as a jewelry box, to put my jewelry in. But anyway, back to this candle, you guys. I absolutely love this candle, not only because it is a very pretty candle, but also because I can actually smell it. You guys, I have high ceilings in my house, and a lot of times if the candle is not strong enough, I cannot smell it. However, I don't have that problem with this candle. I can definitely smell the scent. Like I said, I got Orange Blossom, and I can smell it even in my living room, which is quite a bit bigger than my soft room. So you know what I'm going to do for you guys. I got to take care of my people, okay? I got a 20% off coupon if you're interested in getting a candle or anything else from their website. It is itsrox20, and I will leave that code in the description box below. And again, I want to thank Rose Forever for always being so kind and gracious and sending me such fabulous things. You guys make sure you log on and see what they have there for you. Thanks, Rose Forever, again. Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blog. So let's get to it. I say I'm gonna take some time off, y'all. All the cashiers, they was like, somebody stole her truck. It's like you can hear it all throughout the store. This Rox coming to you today with a review for Love and Marriage Detroit, Love and Marriage Huntsville, our book 4, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys. So first story up, let's talk about Craig Mack and the article that was written about his last days, basically, or like his mind state, I should say, during the second half of his unfortunately not too long life. Okay, you guys remember Craig Mack? He was one of the artists on the Bad Boy label. He was the one who came out with the stupendous hit of, you know, Flavor in Your Ear. It was a big deal back then. It is actually still one of those songs that gets the party going. When you hear that beat, you know what it is. People reuse that beat, that sample, because that's a sample of something else, I'm sure, but they use it over and over and over again. Okay, and we can thank Craig Mack for that. He was one of Diddy's big time artists who, you know, when Puffy was trying to really establish himself, when he had just been removed from, he was fired from, where was he, at Uptown? He was fired, and so now it was like it was either time to step out on faith and create your own thing or just forget it, you know. So he was really trying to make sure that Bad Boy, the label, got the name and the recognition it was that, you know, that he wanted it to have. So that's how, you know, Craig Mack happened. And then Bad Boy just was on the map, and you know, then we got Biggie, and then we got Mace, and then we got 112. We got all of these other groups, and they say that Puffy didn't really pay much attention anymore to Craig Mack. Well, there was more to that story. They wrote about it, an article in Rolling Stones, and the other day I tried to read the article. Okay, I went on to Rolling Stones, and the article popped up for me, and I got started, and I read basically what I just told you, and then the damn page reloaded, and then next thing you know, Rolling Stones was asking me to subscribe to, you know, their magazine. This is the same thing that happened a couple of times. Like every time I try to go and read something at Rolling Stones, it'll let me for a minute until it realizes like, wait a minute, this bitch ain't paid for nothing. Okay, so then it redirects me, and then it starts asking me for money. Well, I'm not interested in paying for a subscription with Rolling Stones. I'm gonna find out what the damn article said if I can't read it verbatim. Okay, so that's what we did. In this article, apparently, it was an expose of sorts that told us that when Craig Mack died, his family told us that he had congestive heart failure, and that's what he died from. But in reality, he died from complications of HIV and AIDS. Okay. Of course, back then when Craig Mack, well, it hasn't been that long. It was 2018 when he died. You know, even still, there was a stigma. I mean, there is still a stigma that is attached with having AIDS, even though we know that there are plenty of ways that you can get it. We know that people are living with AIDS. You know, but there is still something that some people do not want to say that this is how that person died. Anyway, they were protecting him, because apparently Craig Mack was going through a lot of changes, you know, once he finally left Bad Boy. So there's more to the story, and I guess you can kind of imagine what it might be. So Craig Mack was not happy being at Bad Boy, and he was trying to get out of his deal. Puffy wouldn't let him out. We know that Puffy is notorious for not letting people out of their deals. So he was trying to find out other ways that he can get off of the label. They said that he even went to Suge Knight and wanted to be signed for Death Row Records, when you guys know that is like the arch enemy of Puffy. So when he went there, Suge, whether or not he believed in Craig Mack or not, you know, he offered him a $1.25 million deal and a advance like $200,000, you know, for recording. I mean, in advance, and a $1.25 million recording deal. Okay. And then when Puffy found out about it, he was pissed. Okay. So he told Craig Mack, you know, Craig Mack ended up filing bankruptcy to try to get out of the Bad Boy deal. When Puffy found out that he had went to go talk to Suge, that Puffy forced him to drop the bankruptcy thing, and that he had to buy himself out of his deal with Puffy. Okay, and so the man ain't had no money, basically. And Puffy made life extremely hard for Craig Mack as he was trying to, I guess, figure out what he was going to do next now that he wasn't with Bad Boy and all this. But, you know, and things went downhill for Craig Mack after that. They said that Craig Mack ended up getting involved with some sort of religious group or religious cult, and it was like an extremist religious cult, and he basically was starting to just go downhill from there. You know, was not communicating with his friends, family, loved ones, and ultimately ended up getting sick, apparently. He was married when actually his wife's name is Roxanne, ironically, but he ended up getting estranged from everybody as he got more and more involved in this cult. And then, you know, we found out that he had passed. They said he looked really bad, that he had lost a lot of weight and all that, and that it turned out that it was from HIV and AIDS. I don't know why we needed to know that today. I mean, you know, why did we need to know that he died from HIV and AIDS? We know that the man is dead. We know he's not here any longer. You know, it would have been more interesting to hear just about how his life, but I think in that article that I didn't get to read, you know, it just kind of wanted to explain exactly why he got to the point where he was. But yeah, they said it was an extremist group, like to the point where they think that like a barcode, like a scan code on the back of an item that you would purchase at a store, they believe that that was like the mark of the beast. And so I don't know what they might think about these little things that you can do with your phone. They probably, you know, have a whole lot to say about those now too. You know, the thing that you can point your camera at, and like when you're at the restaurant and it'll pull up the menu for you. Like, I bet you they got a whole bunch of ideas on that. But yeah, it was actually a sad story. I mean, I had already kind of heard some of that stuff about Craig Mack, and a lot of that you could kind of imagine, you know, him going from being with Puffy to just kind of almost being destitute. He ended up like a lot of the rest of his artists have, you know, with the exception of like his huge, well, I don't know any bad boy artist that has like just an altogether positive 100% great experience story with Bad Boy or with Puffy. There is some kind of problem with every single person that Puffy has worked with over there. Okay, so Craig Mack's story, although it was a sad story, it wasn't really a surprising story. But yeah, the wife said that Craig Mack was afraid of Puffy because he knew that Puffy held his career in his hands and had pretty much was the reason why, you know, the downfall of his career. So he sounds like he had just been in a depressed state pretty much from the time that he knew that he needed to leave Bad Boy until the end of his life, which is actually very unfortunate and sad. You know, when you die and you can clearly see that that person was unhappy, like that makes me sad for them. So yeah, that was what the story I believe was. You know, I'm sure there's way more to it because, like I said, I didn't get to read the story, but Rolling Stones ain't getting a penny out of me. All right, you guys, next story up. So they say your boy Irv Gotti over there having health problems. I said, boy, that Irv done found out that Ashanti and Nelly got back together, and honey almost got up out of here, huh? I mean, child, I mean, it's not a laughing matter. I mean, he's having health issues. Apparently, he is a diabetic and has been a diabetic for a long time. And maybe wasn't taking care of himself, wasn't taking the diagnosis all that seriously. Whack 100, I don't know if he was on, what is that discourse app that people go on and they talk on there? I can't remember the name of it, but I believe that Whack 100 was on there and he was talking to somebody and he mentioned Irv Gotti like being real fucked up and that he can't barely walk, he on a walker and everything, that he had a stroke. And then he was like, oh shit. But he was like, oh shit, did I say something about it? I don't know if I was supposed to say something. You know, somebody that sent me a message, I got a message from. I was listening to the thing and I was like, oh, he sounds like Exhibit a little bit. But apparently Irv Gotti must have had a pretty good sized stroke. Okay, depending on who you ask, because I'm gonna tell you what Irv's response was. But according to Whack 100, he had a pretty bad stroke. He was at some rehabilitation center, and that one of the workers reached out to Whack and told him. Whack said that he thought that it was common knowledge and that this was on social media, but then he checked social media while he was talking and was just like, oh no, it wasn't in social media. I guess it was, here I am. I was like, yeah, you out there telling the nigga business. I don't know if you did that on purpose or not. It sounded like he didn't try to do that on purpose, but you know, Whack 100, I don't know what to make of Whack 100. I don't even know who he is, where he came from. Just all of a sudden, he was supposed to be all LA. And I was just like, I had never heard that man's name when I was there. I mean, it's been a long time. I mean, I ain't plugged into the streets like that, but you know, anyway. So, yeah, he was saying that he had a walker. I mean, the way he was painting the picture, he was making it seem like Irv Gotti was just, like, really, really bad, okay? Well, Irv Gotti's representative, not Irv Gotti himself, but his representative did come out and say, oh, this is a big, you know, big to-do about nothing, and that Irv Gotti had a minor stroke about 6 months ago because he wasn't doing what he was supposed to, you know, and that stroke was like a eye opener, that he had to walk with a cane for a little while, so not a walker like Whack 100 said, but you know, that he is doing much better, that he is eating the right foods, he's making sure he takes his medication, he's taking care of himself, he's exercising, you know, he's doing all the things to make sure that he's still here, okay, and that he is happy and he is living his life. I was like, well, how happy is it? Because don't he have a lawsuit about him? But y'all, that's something else, all right. Irv Gotti apparently had a whole lot going on that done stressed the poor man out, and that's why he ended up, I believe, I'm sure the diabetes was also a contributing factor, but I believe that, you know, around 6 months ago, I want to say that was around the time maybe that the lawsuit came out, not the whole Ashanti thing, but I was just like, you know, we've been talking about Irv. None of it's been positive in the last year, at least, of, you know, his feelings about Ashanti and all that. I think that it has something to do with it, too. Okay. But, yeah, he said that he's changed his lifestyle. He's in a full recovery. Life is good. Don't pay no attention to what Whack 100 and them said over there. Okay, so yeah, Irv and his short neck are still around, and you guys don't have to worry. He's in control of his health issues now. Next story. They say that your boy Lil Baby. Oh, I didn't find out what his mama named him, y'all. What does mama name him? Lil Baby, I'm thinking, do I have his name in my mind? Child, move that over, look around. Anyway, y'all, they say that your boy, Lil Baby, was arrested out there in Las Vegas for gun possession. Okay? And although the man does have a gun license to carry out here in Georgia, I'm going to need everybody to remember and understand that states have their own laws. Once you cross state lines, you ain't going, but you can't, that state ain't governed by what we say is okay here in Georgia. In Georgia, you can carry a gun, concealed weapon here. You can put that shit on your waist if you want to, okay? In Las Vegas, Nevada, I'm about positive, you cannot have a gun. All right, even if you have a damn license to have it, you cannot carry it around with you on your person. So he got arrested for that. Okay, have you guys seen the video? Hey man, I give you 2,000, I give you 20 bands, I give you 200 bands a year. If you just help me, like, he wanted the security. He was calling the security, telling them that he wanted, you know, if he gave him $20,000, you know, can he get out of this? Like, the police is harassing him. Can y'all help him out? 20,000. He got 20,000 for whoever gonna help him. Okay. And I was like, well, unfortunately, Mr. Baby, that is not how it works. Okay. Because the law is the law, and you ain't supposed to have no gun out there. Even though I promise you, I don't blame these rappers. You know, everybody will say something like, oh, these rappers need to have security with them. And yes, they do definitely need to have security with them as well. But we know that Lil Baby, remember, he just had a video shoot out here. And I think he was like in Mechanicsville or something, or maybe was it Fourth Ward? Anyway, he had a video shoot out here. And even though he wasn't there at the time, somebody came to the video shoot and shot it up. Remember, I told you guys about that, right? Okay. So obviously, I'm not sure if there is like a concentrated direct effort to get to Lil Baby, or if it's just somebody that's just feeling like, you know, they gonna shoot the rappers or whatever, if he has any affiliation with gangs. I don't know what any of that is, but it's clear that Lil Baby doesn't feel safe even with having security with him, and probably feels the best knowing that he can have the gun on his person. Well, again, when you in Georgia, baby, keep the gun as much as you want. Do what you want with it. You can have it in your car, whatever, okay? But when you go to different states, you cannot assume, because he keep on saying, yeah, they arrested me and I got a license. And this don't make no sense. I got a license. No, you don't have a license for Nevada, though. Okay? That's not that hard to understand. Lil Baby strikes me as a rapper who's normally got a little bit of sense, you know? So I feel like, you know, that I don't give a fuck what you got in Georgia. This Nevada. So yeah, shit is real. Shit is real out there in them streets, and these rappers, if we ain't seen one, we done seen them all. They get gunned down, they can get shot at, you know, motherfuckers trying to rob them, all this. So, I mean, I understand why he did what he did, but no, you just because I understand don't mean it's right, okay? So they did arrest him. They held him on $5,000 bail, which he made, of course, and the next thing we knew, we saw him on his private jet, the jet that he was talking about when he was yelling and talking shit to the police. You know, he was gonna get on his jet and all that, so he was on his jet, and I said, nigga, take your ass back to Georgia, because no, we don't need you out there in Nevada with your guns and your $200,000 a year. You're trying to offer these people to get you out of this trouble. You need to have better sense than that, okay? So yeah, Lil Baby, even though he was arrested, and I think he was saying, like, I got the gun, it's in my nuts. It's in my nuts. It's hidden in my nuts. I was like, is he saying it's hidden in my nuts? I don't even know. He was just saying all kind of shit. That's when you know you be mad. You just be saying whatever, don't be making no sense and shit. I was just like, not in your nuts, child. Anyway, yeah, baby, maybe you don't need to go nowhere if you're feeling that unsafe, okay? Or just have your security team. Congratulations are in order to CeeDee Lamb. Okay, now I don't really know who that is. I did see a video of him talking about this contract that he just signed with Dallas Cowboys. Very good looking man, beautiful smile, and whole face is right. I was just like, we just cut them fucking braids off of the locks or whatever. Y'all know although there are plenty men that are fine even with locks, I still prefer a man to not have locks. Okay, just me, y'all. And then his locks, they was kind of scrawny and shit. I was just like, I'm gonna need your locks to thicken up a little bit, baby. You know, you done braided them and crimped them and shit, but anyway, it don't matter because my man is very, very, very rich, okay? He is now the second highest paid football player who is not a quarterback. Apparently, he is a receiver for the Dallas Cowboys. He signed a 4-year, $136 million contract extension. I was like, what? Listen, you can't tell me that, you know, people ain't got no money out there, y'all. It is still plenty of money out there to be had, to be spent, to be saved, to make. It's a lot of money. You just got to be in the right place. And fuck, $136 million to run a ball down the damn field. Boy, motherfuckers be in the wrong business. Okay. I mean, I guess you got to have skill. You got to have talent to make them kind of numbers. I'm assuming that Mr. Lamb is quite valuable to the Dallas Cowboys team. There's a video of him that he's talking to somebody, and he was just like, I almost gave in because he was getting tired of waiting, probably getting nervous, not sure if the team was going to keep him. I mean, I've seen enough TV shows and movies to know that that's how it goes, y'all. Jerry Maguire in the game, thank you. That ought to be enough for me to know how these deals work. He said he was getting impatient and he was about to just accept whatever it was that they had originally offered him. But I guess, you know, after talking to his professional, you know, his manager, his agent, his representative or whatever, they told him to hold out a little longer, and thank goodness he did, because, honey, $136 million ain't nothing to sneeze at. Y'all know I'm a Capricorn. Money is important to me, okay? Money is safety. Money is good. I can buy what I want, but it's also, you know, so I am impressed. What y'all know about old CeeDee Lamb? Is he amazing out there on that field? Because, honey, that kind of money you need to be. You know, football players, they only make that kind of money if you really, really good. So, Good for him. Congratulations to Mr. CeeDee Lamb. Next story up, you guys. Dwight Howard's accuser, Stephen Harper, withdrew the lawsuit that he had against him. The lawsuit was filed back in July of last year for the second time, I believe. I feel like it was either the second time that he filed this lawsuit, or maybe he had talked about it before some years ago, and then he decided to bring the law. Maybe that's what it was. I think he had talked about it when it first happened, but didn't do anything, and then he brought the lawsuit up. But remember, back in July of 2021, Mr. Harper had told us a story about how he had met Dwight Howard on Instagram. That Dwight Howard had like a dummy, like a Finsta account, and they would talk over there, and Dwight let him know that he was a freak and that he was into these different sexual things, and was he down? And the guy said yes. So they had got some sort of relationship, sexually tinged relationship on Instagram, and then they decided to meet in person. So Dwight apparently invited him to his home, and remember, we found out at that time he was saying that he didn't want his family to hear him sneaking this guy in. And I still don't know this for a fact, but when Royce Morgan told us that she was not Morgan, shout out to Royce Morgan, how you doing, boo-boo? Okay, but anyway, Royce Reed told us that she was living with Dwight, and when she said the year, I was like, I wonder if that is around the time that man was going over to see Dwight, and he snuck him in the house. Because remember, she said that she was living there with him. They were trying to work it out, and we had no idea. So this is probably around the same time. But anyway, child, that's neither here nor there. So the guy goes over there, and Dwight ends up, he said that Dwight forced him, I think, to give him a BJ or something, and then all of a sudden there was another person that came out of the bathroom, and they wanted to have a threesome, and he said that he felt like coerced and forced to do it. He didn't really want to do it. He thought this was just going to be a one-on-one him and Dwight thing, and Dwight was just like, well, nigga, I told you I was a freak and I wanted to have this and all this. So apparently they had all had sex or whatever, but the guy was not happy about it and was feeling forced to do it and left and all that, okay? And so he decided to file a lawsuit. Dwight always said that it was consensual sexual activity, that everybody agreed on what we were doing at the time, and that this was more so a case of unrequited love. Is that the word? Unrequited? Y'all know I be liking to pull my words out and be fucking them up and everything, but this might be a case of like a jilted lover. Like, the guy thought that him and Dwight, I got me a baller, even though it's Dwight Howard, but, I got me a baller, and he kind of into me, and, all this, and then come to find out you was just another person for him to be fucking and sucking on with this other person, and it was nothing more than that. So, I think I can see how it could be both ways. Maybe there was some miscommunication, or maybe Dwight did lead him to believe that it was going to be something else. But whatever the situation is, Mr. Harper has now decided that he is dropping the lawsuit. He dismissed all claims filed against Dwight, and he cannot file a lawsuit on the same matter ever again. So I guess that's without prejudice or with prejudice. I always get them mixed up. But whatever it is, he can't sue Dwight about that. So Dwight Howard gets to continue his basketball career over in Asia. I did not realize that he plays for the Taiwan Mustangs. He's been playing for them since 2022. I don't know why I thought that the man was still playing in the NBA here. How old is fucking Dwight? Dwight ought to be old enough. He ought to be retiring. He was playing with Shaq and them was playing. Fuck, he still... Anyway, you guys, as far as this chapter in Dwight's life right here, it's over. Okay, all's well that ends well. And then, you guys, lastly, let's just talk about the things that I peeped. First, let's talk about the Cam Newton interview with Dr. Bryant. Let me tell you, I can't. I don't like to listen to interviews. First of all, you guys know I don't like listening to long interviews, although this would have been one that I could have probably sat and listened to, because Dr. Bryant seems to be, she's a lifestyle coach. And she seems to be very smart. I liked her. I loved her approach, talking to Cam and everything. But I can't listen to Cam Newton. He is one of those I am the smartest nigga in the room kind of people. And I don't have patience for that. I don't want to hear it. It's bullshit, the way that he has brainwashed these women. I'm sure the two last ones that he done left in his wake probably see things a little differently now. But now that he got this new one that just had the baby, and she talking about she loved to serve, and you know, after he done sat up there and talking about how he be molding women to do what he want them to. Child, I don't have it. I don't have it in me. I don't have it in me. Okay? It's a shame too, because I know Cam Newton's family, or I used to know them. I haven't seen them in many, many years. And his parents are good people. His grandmother, great people. But he is just, he's an idiot to me. Okay? Mr. saw him on the plane. Mr. one of those ones that if he sees somebody, he gonna go up to you and talk. Like if you're a celebrity, he wants to talk to. I don't never do that, because you're not fixing to mold me, baby. You ain't fixing to ignore me. You ain't gonna act like you so much better than me. You ain't gonna do none of that. All right? I will see a person and then I'm gonna keep it moving. But Mr. like to talk to folks anyway. So apparently he was on a plane with Cam and had went up to him because he wanted to know about the grandmother. Because, you know, every now and then we'll drive by there where they used to live and wonder how the grandmother is. She was really, really sweet. So Mr. goes up to Cam, and then we didn't know Cam because Cam had went to, this is supposed to just be a peep, but this turned out to be a story. But Cam had went away to school already when we first met the family. And then he had a young brother who was the same age as Joe. So then that's how we all got to know the family. And, you know, they spent, I told you guys all that before. But, so we don't know Cam. Cam don't know us. But he goes up to him and he's like, hey, you know, I used to know your mom and dad. I was like, you know, that already sound like a story. Like, oh, you used to know him, huh? Like, so what does that have to do with me? So he said that Cam was brushing him off, and he said he didn't ever really pay attention to him much until he mentioned the grandmother. You know, it was like, is your grandmother still alive? Is she still with us? And that's when he finally was like, oh, yeah, she's still here. Yeah, she's good. You know. But he said he was an asshole, and I was like, why didn't you think that? Why didn't you think that when you saw him? Why did you, if I would have been there with you, I would have been like, don't go talk to him, because you already know how this is about to be, okay? Anyway, that's a little anecdote that ain't got to do nothing with nothing. But yeah, Dr. Brian talking to Cam. You know, she talked to Nick Cannon in the past, and I want her to sit down with all these toxic ass niggas out there who just believe that, you know, they are the end all be all, you know, and that they got all these women and they having babies with these women and then they going on to somewhere else and all that. Yes, we understand that they can afford to take care of these, but like she said, you creating broken homes all over the place. I mean, these are all things that we've all said, but the fact that she actually said it right straight to his face, I was like, yes, sis, yes. But you know what? He is one of those people who believes that he knows everything. So it's like sitting next to fucking the intelligent adjacent, but without the big words. Because, honey, Cam is not... He ain't, I just don't even think that he is really even all that smart as he believes that he is, you know. But anyway, the fact that this new girl up there, I just love to serve, you know. And there's nothing wrong with people being that way. I know I have a friend who is very much one of those people that loves to do for everybody else. Loves to cook, you know, invite everybody over, cook. One of them ones that can't never sit down, always have to be making sure everybody else is good, you know, this, that. I'll be like, girl, relax. It's your party and you're working to death. Can you sit down and enjoy yourself? You know, so I do know that there are people like that. I'm not saying that that's a bad quality to have, but when you got a nigga like Cam who is taking advantage of you and got you thinking, child, I can't. Let's move on to the other things I peeped. Meg Thee Stallion, child. She was on the internet the other day and she debuted her new relationship. At least I believe that that's what she was doing, because they were in bed together, I believe, you know, and she didn't look like she had much clothes on, and I don't think he had a shirt on or whatever, but maybe he did. It don't matter. But I believe that this is her new relationship. You know, they was doing one of those cute little videos of, you know, put your hand down, or who was the first to do this? Who was the first to say I love you? Who was the first, you know, that video. Okay. And she's debuted her relationship with Chicago Bulls player Torrey Craig. I was like, is this nigga named Torrey? Or is it Torrey? Because it's Torrey. I'm a hope it's Torrey, because what's the chances that she end up with another fucking Tory? Child, if that ain't the universe saying something to you, I know something. Shit. I mean, bad luck. Like, I had to call that nigga something else. Like, I can't call you Tory. I'm gonna have to call you Ray or Torrey, like I said. But anyway, apparently they're in a relationship now, and she looks like she's happy. Listen, I understand Meg wants to be with, you know, a man that makes her happy, just like a lot of other women want to be with men that make them happy and all. You know, folks want to be in a relationship. There's nothing wrong with that. I just don't want her to keep putting it on social media. We ain't had a good track record. You know, people is gonna be all in your business, and it's like, I understand where they're coming from, because you want to be able to live your life just like everybody else. Just like regular Joe Blow should be able to post a picture of him and his girl at the damn bridge, you know, at the waterfall taking pictures. You know, a celebrity should be able to do that too if they're showcasing their level of happy. But you have to remember, as a celebrity who is controversial, first of all, you know, and then the situation, you know, we've known her to be with these men. Every time she's broken up with somebody, it's become a splash on the internet. It's like drama and shit. It's just like, girl, keep the shit to yourself. Now, maybe they've been together for a while, and maybe she's feeling comfortable enough now that she can just debut it the way that she has. But if I was Meg, I wouldn't. Same with Cynthia Bailey. Now, she didn't debut the man, but she was on some talk show or some podcast or interview or something, and she was just like, yeah, she done met this man. He live over in Amsterdam, but, you know, it's been 4 months, and he's come over to Georgia 3 of those 4 months and has visited her, and it's been really good. And, you know, she's just in love. And I was just like, Cynthia, now you too fucking old. Girl, what you done been through, you ought to know good and damn well. Just leave that shit alone. Go on and be with your man from Amsterdam, and he can make you happy and everything. But why you all on the gushing about it on the thing? Like, girl, just hold that in. Keep it close to you. Keep it close to you. Okay? Because once people start knowing about this shit, then they get to digging, and then the next thing you know, they start telling you, you know, his business, and and then, you know, of course, everybody has a past. So then we get to finding out some shit. And, girl, leave it alone. Leave it alone, okay? I also peeped that Lizzo was out there losing weight quietly and looking good. What done happen with them lawsuits? Did they drop the lawsuits? Are they still moving forward? Are they just in limbo? Because we ain't forgot about the lawsuits. But Lizzo said that she taking a gap year. She getting her mental and her physical together. She said that she has really worked on her mental. She's worked on her mental health a lot. So I love that for Lizzo. She's looking good, y'all. If she continues to go down, and at least the way that she's letting us see it, it don't look like, you know, look like it's the old-fashioned way, even though there's nothing wrong. Also, let me also back up while we're talking about weight loss and all this, because I've been wanting to clear this up for the longest. You guys know how I feel about Ozempic and people being on Ozempic and all that. I always talk about how it's not worth it, but when I talk about Ozempic not being worth it, I am talking about people that are already not overweight, okay? That's the important part of that story that I have left out many times, and then when I'm editing it, I'll be like, fuck, I forgot to say that. When people just need to lose 10, 15 pounds, those are the people that I'm talking about that abuse Ozempic. When there are people that are, like Mr. was told at one time, morbidly obese, morbidly overweight, people who really clearly need to lose, or, you know, may want to lose all this weight, then I don't have a problem with people using things to lose weight, because then it becomes whether or not it's worth it. So if you are overweight and you have high blood pressure, diabetes, you got all of these issues, and it's attributed a lot of it to the fact that you're overweight, then I don't have a problem with you taking Ozempic, because the pros outweigh the cons. Meaning, yeah, you might be constipated, but, you know, you ain't gonna have all these, you're gonna lose the weight, and hopefully you won't be diabetic. You know, maybe it'll just be diet controlled. You won't have to take insulin. You won't have to take high blood pressure medicine, you know, like all those things. So yes, I do understand that there's a reason for people to take Ozempic or whatever weight loss drugs that they do. I don't have a problem with that. I'm talking about my homegirl who, you know, wants to lose 10 pounds, and now you found she on Ozempic, and now her ass then got down and lost 30 pounds and look like she need to eat a hamburger. That's what I'm talking about, okay? So, yeah, I've always wanted to clear that up, okay? Anyway, moving on. Other things I peeped, Lauryn Hill was at her high school reunion, and she was performing. I said, what? Girl, what you say? Honey, she won't show up at these concerts, but she gonna be at that high school reunion. I ain't mad. And looked like she was happy doing it, too. Just to rap it. Everybody was rapping with her. I was like, look at Lauren go. I also peeped that Evelyn Lozada said that, listen, don't believe all the pictures and the videos and shit that you might see of her and Tiffany Cambridge hanging out back in the day, okay? Pictures of Tiffany lovingly rubbing her belly at the baby shower. I'm assuming that baby was the son that she ended up having with the baseball player, Carl, whatever his name is. Pictures of them looking like they were all together. I mean, there's been a lot of pictures. It hasn't just been one or two. There's been a lot of pictures that have surfaced that people have pulled out and saying like, isn't this your girl? Okay. No, Evelyn said, no, that ain't her girl. That ain't her friend. And y'all can't believe everything you see. Okay. And why is she even addressing any of this anyway? Because they say that Evelyn's daughter is pregnant by the game, which is the father of Tiffany's, which is supposed to be Evelyn's good friend, of Tiffany's kids. Okay, so your best friend, I don't know if they were besties, but your friend daughter ended up having a relationship with said friend's man or ex-man. And even if it is an ex-man, you guys, that's still that's a violation. That's a violation. That'll let you know that there's no honor amongst thieves. I done told y'all that about Shawnee's whole group anyway. Them ladies, they all wrong. They all wrong. Okay? Ain't no honor. They done all did shit in relationships trying to get to the man, this, that, and the other in the past. And so none of them ain't really right. So that's why Evelyn don't think that it's no big problem. Evelyn should have never just said nothing. She shouldn't have said anything. Because that ain't got nothing to do with you. Your daughter is the one that was with the game, and you needed to just leave it alone. But she had to say that, and it just makes me just sit there, and I want to know what Tiffany think. Until Tiffany come out and say something, which she probably won't, because Tiffany keeps a very low profile. We rarely see Tiffany anymore. Okay? But I really am curious to know if Tiffany would say, oh no, we didn't really have a friendship like that. Or if she would be like, that bitch is a motherfucking lie. Because that's what I think it was. And but anyway, I also peeped Judge Mathis and his wife divorcing after 39 years. And I was like, listen, I'm not mad. I done told y'all a million times that marriage is work. It's worth it, but it is work. And 39 years and you still get a divorce, what that tells me is that these two could not do it not one more minute, okay? Because after you invested all that time and you've been with somebody for so long, that's the person that you're comfortable with and everything, and you still throw in the fucking towel, to me, that means that I can't stand this motherfucker and I don't want to look at him not another minute. And I want to have the rest of my quality of life needs to be happy, peaceful, and without that one looking at me every fucking morning when I go make me some coffee. I'm not mad. I am not mad. I also peeped that JT covered the newest issue of Essence magazine. Beautiful, beautiful spread. I posted one of the pictures. She looks good. JT, I can see the confidence growing and everything. I hope it happens for somebody else write her music. And lastly, I also peeped that Justin Bieber and his wife Hailey Bieber have welcomed into their family a bouncing baby boy named Jack Blues Bieber. Okay, so we're gonna hope that this addition of the baby will help the Biebers. They just seem like such a depressed couple to me. Justin Bieber has never seemed happy. Hailey Bieber goes through a lot just to be with Justin Bieber, with his fans and the Selena Gomez fans and all that. So yeah, you guys, so they do have a little boy. Let's just pray that the family, that this is a bright light on what seems to be otherwise a pretty doomsday blog type of relationship over there. Good for them, though. Babies are happy. All right, you guys, let me go in here, get my food, and get on back to work, child. Work is getting a little better. I'm finally getting the hang of things. Yeah, child. I'm glad today is Thursday, though. This is my Friday in the office. So anyway, y'all, we do this every single week. Make sure you thumbs up the video, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back. Until next time, rock stars.